Good evening, Drew.
Paul, it's an end of an era today, buddy.
What era is that?
Destiny 2 is over.
You know what? I almost put that in the notes. Because I saw that today. Yeah, well, it's not over. It's dying.
I would argue that it's been dying for a while.
Okay.
This is just confirmation that Sony and everybody is just over it. So basically, there was an announcement today that it's no longer going to get any content. It's done. They're not going to put any more creative effort into it. And I would argue they haven't put creative effort into it for at least a couple years now. They said they are going to keep the servers up and it's going to be playable, but why bother, right? Yeah, it's sad because there was a period where I played a lot of Destiny 2. I played it when it first came out.
Same.
I took a little break and then I came back to it after Forsaken, and I loved Forsaken. Then I took another break, and then I came back a little bit later, and I played a shitload of it. So this sucks. I really, underneath all the cruft and all the other live service bullshit they built into it, was a really, really good shooting game. And
now, have you tried Marathon?
I have.
And?
That ain't it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not for me. I mean, the extraction, the PvPvE part of it, the PvE stuff is fun. Mm-hmm. But no, I could not get into Marathon.
Okay.
That wasn't it for me. But I feel like this is a good segue that
well, yeah, let's bump that up.
Yeah, I made a concerted effort to play Diablo 4.
Okay. Since for those of you, we have a doc, and the word "playing" is in quotes, so I'm not expecting this to go well.
So after our last recording session and hearing you talk about how the skill trees were all redone and there's all this good stuff in the game happening, I was like, okay, I'm gonna go buy the least expensive edition of the expansion.
Okay.
And I'm going to try Paladin. Now, for those of you that haven't listened to me talk about Diablo 4 before, when I played it shortly after it came out, I played Barbarian. I did not understand, and I still do not understand how that class works.
It's a little complicated. Yeah, the arsenal system is weird. Yeah.
It was a very inefficient soloing experience. I was not able to kill things fast enough. I was not able to kill things en masse easily, so I did not have a good time. And actually, I think my Barbarian got up to level 46, and that's just where I stopped. I'm like, this isn't fun anymore. I was dying way too much. I wasn't even playing on a super hard difficulty. I was playing on just hard, I think. Okay. So I bought the expansion, and my intention was to pick a Paladin, because I like the Paladin class in the previous Diablos, and play through the entire campaign. So the original campaign,
okay.
The first expansion that I completely skipped, which was
Vessel of Hatred,
and then the new one. Apparently I misclicked, because when I built my Paladin, it just threw me into the new campaign.
Oh, yeah, that's the default. You have to, yeah. It's kind of dumb, but
I played it on normal. I went online and I found a build, and I was like, I'm just gonna follow this guide. I'm gonna play it. I'm gonna set up my action bar, and I'm not gonna worry about loot too much. I'm just gonna follow the leveling guide, and I'm gonna do whatever.
Yeah.
My Paladin and his hammers got through the expansion in about 12 hours.
Yeah. It's the expansions they're never very long.
No.
Yeah. Yeah, they're just quick little story bites. Yeah.
And it was good. Like, they gave me a nice recap of all the stuff that I never got to experience in the first one, and then I guess what happened in the middle. And the reason that I have the word "playing" in quotes is that unlike the Barbarian, get faith, make hammers, win. Like, It almost became like Vampire Survivors at one point, where I'm just walking around and stuff's dying.
Things are dying. Yeah, yeah.
Which I think is like the Diablo is what you're supposed to do, right? Like, isn't that the point?
I mean, blasting is the point, right? Like, it's yeah. It's going in there and just like, oh, there's 100 enemies on the screen. God damn, that's the the title. I'm sure blasting is the point. I'm sure they're blasting. Anywho, yeah. My son also started playing Diablo 4.
So okay. But now I'm at the point I finished the expansion and I know that I have to like go back to previous content if I want to get a mount or if I want to unlock mercenaries and some of this other stuff. So that's kind of like the phase I'm in right now. But what I don't fully understand, and I've done a little bit of wiki reading and a little bit of research, is what is the thing that I do now? Normal is clearly too easy. I bumped it up to hard. I still wasn't barely taking any damage, and I bumped it up to just the next one, which starts with a P.
Pentinent?
Pentinent, yeah.
Yeah, Pentinent, yeah.
And I'm now to the point where I have to use potions.
Okay. That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
So if you want to continue to keep playing, so there's one key activity that you need to keep in mind, and that is
war plans.
Pit. The pit. The pit.
All right.
What the pit will do, the pit basically starts as level 1 and goes up to like, I don't know, ridiculous level. But those thresholds, and I can't remember exactly what the thresholds are because they change them all the time, they essentially map to difficulty levels. So you can run the pit and figure out like, am I ready for torment? Am I ready for torment? Because the torment difficulties is when you start getting like end game gear, right?
Okay. You
start getting mythics or ancestrals and possible mythic drops, and the higher you go in torment, the more likely you are to get those style of drops. So the pit is kind of your am I ready to do this thing.
Okay.
And then I would recommend war plans are good because as you keep playing, it will introduce you to all of the other end game content, right? So it introduced you to Hell Tides, the Infernal Hordes, Cuirassed Undercity, Nightmare Dungeons, and then you also learn like when you get have you hit Paragon yet?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, I just dropped something. My bad. Cut that.
This is the show.
Okay. As you will get glyphs for your Paragon board, the only place you can upgrade those glyphs is in the pit. That is it. That's the only place.
Okay, so that was gonna. I came prepared tonight with questions.
Okay. Yeah.
Because there is an insane amount of materials and activities, and it's just like, what do I do? Yeah. And I thought war plans was kind of it, because that's where I sort of like really started testing myself. And a lot of that stuff I can run solo. Nightmare Dungeons, I really haven't done yet because I don't understand how to do them.
Nightmare Dungeons are just regular dungeons that are a little bit harder. That's it. That's
but don't you need like a key or a trophy or something to go in?
So if you want to go to a specific dungeon, because each of you'll get keys, and each of the keys have like certain things. Like this one will have more gems, and we'll have these type of enemies. But if you just do war plans, you don't have a key, it'll just send you to a random nightmare dungeon. Okay. Right. Same thing with like, you don't need an infernal compass to do hordes. If you're doing war plans, it'll send you to the basic one. Now, if you want to go to like a higher difficulty or want certain rewards, then you want to use your own and not let it automatically. Nightmare dungeons are really good for like crafting materials. Okay. So basically the loop is run the pit to figure out what difficulty you can be at. So each of your Paragon boards, outside of the first one, remember you can add, if you didn't realize this, you can add up to 5 different Paragon boards. You start with 1 and you can add 4 more.
Where do you get them?
So if on the board, if you get if you have a trail of things that you can get, if you get to the edge of one of them, it'll allow you to add another board onto there.
Okay.
On that space.
All right.
Each of those boards has 2 key things. It has a legendary node that gives you like a really good power, and it's got in every board has a slot for a glyph, and a glyph will do This is the thing where I say just find a build guide, because Paragon is so fucking complicated. Find one that you vaguely like, whether you follow the loot or any of that stuff. Just follow the Paragon, because it'll tell you what to do and in what order.
My build page doesn't have anything for Paragon.
So what you might have to do is switch. So you may be running a leveling build. You have to find an endgame build.
I see.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. So the end game builds will have Paragon, and then the glyphs fit into a glyph socket, and as you level them up, they get more powerful. And the only place you can level up glyphs is the pit. So there is an incentive to run the pit anyway to get those glyphs. And the higher level of the pit, the more reliable and frequent those glyph upgrades can be.
So quick question about that. So I put a link to the leveling build that the build that I'm using for my paladin, right? Mm-hmm. And I like that there's a little toggle on the skill tree that says leveling path, and it basically says at this level pick this, at level this level pick that. How come it goes up to 84? I'm not getting skill points past 70.
Okay, so there will be, in the seasonal progression, if you're playing a seasonal character, there will be ways to unlock skill points as part of the seasonal progression. So you can get above your level in skill points by doing those things. Yeah, so this is a leveling build.
Okay.
So what you're going to want to find is a paladin endgame build.
Okay, verified builds, custom builds, leveling builds. Okay, so verified builds, endgame, class paladin. Arbiter hammered in endgame build guide. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah. So, all right. So, okay. Mm-hmm. So I really want to follow this.
Yeah. Yeah. And like I said, if whether or not you follow, like, trying to get those exact same pieces of gear, just being able to have someone who did the frickin' math for the fucking Paragon board is really helpful.
Okay. So, all right. Sorry. This is probably super boring for everybody else, but like when I click on that build, there is starter, unique, and mythic for the skill tree.
Okay,
what's the difference?
So that's basically going to be, starter is going to be gear that you can find while you're leveling, right? They're just going to be normal, like level 800 gear. The second one is when you start getting ancestrals. Those are level 850, I think. Okay. So they're a little bit better. Ancestrals have a chance to have a greater affix, which is one of those buffs on the gear that is higher than it normally can be. Also, a lot of times in that mid-tier, they start pulling in uniques. Uniques are... There's two ways to get uniques. One, bosses. Bosses always have a chance to drop uniques, and there are certain bosses that drop certain uniques. So if you're trying to get a particular unique, find a recent boss farming guide, because they change shit around a lot. So make sure the boss has it. Also, if you've been noticing, you may have been picking up like boss trophies in your inventory. It'd be like with the crafting component. If you drop 5 of them, God, this I'm sure if people don't like Diablo, this is fucking insufferable.
Well, this is part of the reason I stay away, right? Like there's a lot of depth here.
Yeah. So if you finish the Lord of Hatred, you unlock the Haradra Cube.
Yep.
If you put 5 of the same boss trophies into the Haradra Cube, it'll generate a unique that boss could drop.
Okay.
So that's that tier. And then the last tier is mythics. Mythics are purple gear, and they're the highest gear in the game. They're rare. In fact, I am pissed. I've played this game a lot. I have yet to see a fucking mythic drop. Fuck you, Blizzard. Where's my fucking mythic? Yeah. So that's, the never ending quest for better pants. So like, run the pit to figure out what difficulty you should be on. Now, granted, I would say, even though you could do Torment 2, but if it's a little bit tough, just do Torment 1 so you get upgraded. Speed is more important than difficulty. And then you just, as you get gear that you like, you use the occultist, or the combination of the cultist and Herodric Cube to like get your gear perfect. Like there's one affix on there like poison resistance. I don't fucking need that. You can go to the occultist and re-roll that one affix and get something else. Add your gem slots to it at the jeweler. Temper it, which is basically adding one more affix onto it. If it's a gear that you're really going to like, then you want to masterwork it, which is also at the blacksmith, which basically just increases the quality, which basically makes everything a little bit better. Once you get to level 25, it basically greatly enhances a random affix on that gear. And then the last thing, I think, hold on, is it called Transmogrify? Diablo 4 Transfigure. Yes. So then the very last thing you do to a piece of gear is you go to the Herodric Cube and you transfigure it. It'll add one more really powerful affix to it, but then the gear cannot be changed. It's done. It's cooked.
Okay.
Right. So that's kind of the thing. The nice thing about war plans is not only are you doing end game activity, but after you finish all of that stuff, it also gives you a nice loot drop at the end. So it's a nice way to get gear, or more likely and often not gear that you don't need, that you just turn into crafting materials. But yeah, and then that's the game until you decide that you're done, and then you stop playing. And then you pick it up next season and do it all over again. Or at least that's what I do.
All right.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Huh. All right.
Yeah.
What do I spend all my massive amounts of gold on?
Nothing.
Okay.
Nothing. I mean, if you do like re-rolls or things like that, that can cost lots of gold. Crafting like very high-end gems costs lots of gold. But gold has never been the bottleneck. It's always been other kind of crafting materials that's been the bottleneck. So
got it.
I don't sell anything. I always, excuse me. Ooh.
You just disassemble it.
Yeah.
That's what I do too.
For materials. Because gold is just like everywhere. Or if you really do need gold, have you done like the Infernal Hordes at all?
Yes.
One of the chests is like turn all your embers into gold, and you just get like a shit ton of gold for one run, and you're like, I'm good for the next few weeks. Thanks.
Oh crap, what was I going to ask you? I seem to remember that you could spend gold to like get potion slots and stuff. Is that not the thing
that's
anymore?
no longer there. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they changed how potions work. You get a base of 4. It always has like a percentage. Like they used to have to upgrade your potions and stuff like that. That is gone. Okay. The only way to get more potion slots is to get a piece of gear that gives you more potion slots.
I have seen that.
Yeah. And then some gear will also give you like 33% healing received. And that makes your healing potions more powerful. But yeah.
Got it. Okay. All right. Mm-hmm. I mean, look, I know I put playing in quotes, okay. But like, Paladin's fun. Like yeah. I like it, and I like that I'm now trying to figure out like what to do, and I'm just wondering like, am I going to have to group with people to make this efficient? Can I play it solo?
The only thing, like there is some content, the Dark Citadel, that requires you to be in a party. The only activity where the amount and quality of loot increases based on your party size is killing bosses. Okay. That's it. Everything else it doesn't matter whether you're solo or in a group, you're going to get the same chances for everything. And when you say
killing bosses, you mean dungeons, right?
No, they're separate boss layers. So you're going to be collecting boss keys. Okay. So if you go on the map, they're not dungeons, they're called layers. And they'll have like the little archway, and they have like a little red tree thing in them. And each boss, there's like the beast in the mountain, or heck, even like you can fight Lilith again if you want. You go there, there's an itty bitty little dungeon. I usually just run past everything, get to the boss, summon the boss, kill the boss, use a boss layer key to open up the chest, get the loot, and you can repeat that constantly if you want to keep farming that boss over and over.
But you need a key every time, right?
Yes. But keys are pretty plentiful. Like,
where do you find them?
They just drop. Yeah.
I don't think I've seen one yet.
You might. I would look. You probably have some.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep going with it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And like if you look at the seasonal progression, like it'll gently nudge you to things. So one of the seasonal progression would be like, hey, kill any boss and open their chest with the boss key at this level of difficulty.
The capstone activity, right?
Yeah, and not even the capstone, but like the actual like
tasks.
The tasks. It'll kind of just gently nudge you to like, you should be fighting bosses now, like. Right, and you primarily fight bosses to get uniques. I mean, yeah. Infernal hordes for loot, nightmare dungeons for crafting materials, Cuirassed Undercity when you have to, and Hell Tides because they're fun and they give loot, and the pit to figure out push difficulty and upgrade glyphs. There you go.
Okay. All right.
Yeah,
see, this is why I come to you. I would have never figured any of this out.
Yeah, and war plans are great. Again, like if you're going to do that endgame activity, you might as well be doing a war plan because at the end you get a nice drop of loot. So
and a lot of experience too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So
I'm finding that's a really good way to level up my mercenaries.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 100%. And if you ever feel like rolling an alt but you don't want to level it, the trick is like the Tree of Whispers and you get those caches. Do a bunch of Tree of Whispers, put the caches in your stash, go to your alt, open those stashes, and you'll be like level 60 and like.
I wonder if there was a way to like just start at level 70.
Yeah, there's not, but if you farm enough, like 6 or 7 like Whisper caches, and you open those with your alt, you just get because the Whisper cache basically like scales to the person who earns it. But you can open it with another character and you just go up.
But you still need to like beat the campaign to unlock the end game stuff though, right?
Yeah. So once you beat the campaign, you can just skip it. When you make a character, you can just say go right to the end game.
Oh, like you beat it on one character and then okay.
And you're unlocked for the account. Yep.
But you're still at level 1.
Yes. Yeah.
So someone can carry you, or you can do what you said.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or
all right.
Exactly.
I got it. Yep. Okay. Very cool.
And then and like you have to do like when you hit level 15, I think it's where it is you get your like your class quest that unlocks stuff. You have to do that once per account to unlock it. You'll still get it. You'll still get the quest, but you don't have to do it. You automatically unlock the abilities. So like enchanting for sorcerers, the Book of the Dead for necromancers, the weird soul shards for warlocks, and what I can't remember what it's the oaths for paladin. Yeah.
Got it.
So once you do that class quest once, you don't have to do it again.
Got it. Okay. All right, cool. That's enough Diablo talk then.
Yeah.
I want to hear about your experience at Sonic Temple, which is why we couldn't record last week.
Yeah, I kind of just I'm really bad. I have this like brain problem where like I know 2 dates are coming, but I don't realize they're the same date, and I'm like went through my calendar like, oh shit, I never responded to this. I suck. But yeah, I spent last Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday at Sonic Temple.
Okay.
It was a good time. Just general thoughts. They have that company has no idea how to handle parking and the amount of traffic that comes through. So they just don't. They don't.
So
they don't.
My TikTok feed, which I get a lot of local Columbus content for some reason. It's mostly just cars crashing into buildings.
Yeah. I see those
a lot of people were bitching about the traffic.
Yeah. The only day that I really this is what happened. Thursday, I was excited. There was a band at 12 that I wanted to see. So I got to the part that they were going to open up they were opening up an hour early. So like they were going to open up at 10. The first concert was at 12. I figured, you know what? I'll just get there early. I'll go in at 10. I'll go around to all the vendors and stuff. I'll get my locker. And that's what I did and stuff. So Thursday, I didn't have any problem. Friday, on the other hand, with parking, there was another event happening downtown on Friday. And that was Columbus State's graduation.
Oh.
It was fucked, Drew. This is I'll give you the short of it. the people at Sonic Temple were very clear in saying, if you want to get to parking, you have to get off in 17th and go west towards the stadium. Well, that was absolutely fucked, and I could not get over onto 17th. So I thought, you know what? Columbus is a series of squares. I'll go up to Hudson and try to get in there.
Yep.
Well, with the graduation and everything, they had literally closed everything down.
Oh, no.
And after about 3.5 hours, I gave up.
You just went home?
I got back on the freeway. I went south. I had some lunch.
Oh, okay.
Okay. I'm like, screw it. I'm not, the bands that I missed weren't like must-see bands anyway. I would have liked to seen them, but I was like, you know what? I just fuck it. I'm tired of being in my car. I have to pee. I am hungry. So I went and I got some lunch, and I just had a nice leisurely lunch. And then by the time lunch was over, I was on the subreddit, and they're like, yeah, like Columbus Day graduation is over. Things are getting better. Okay. I got back in the car. It was still a little bit of traffic. But I eventually got there. I got to see all the bands I wanted. And on Saturday and Sunday, I just left early, and I sat in the car for like an hour and played my ROG Xbox Ally X. I played a little Halls of Torment in my car, listening to music, playing Halls of Torment. And then I just got in like, oh, it's 12:15. It's it's 11:15. It's open now. I guess I'll go in. And I didn't have to wait in line. I just walked right in, got there. So that's what I did. I just kind of adjusted my schedule.
Okay.
The prices were fucking insane. Just absolutely everything was so expensive. Like beers were like $20, like for a tall can, but like still a regular old can of soda was $5. Water was like $7-8. It was just absolutely ridiculous. But in the instance of time, I will keep this brief. I will give you.
No, don't be brief.
I'll give you 3 bands each day that I really enjoyed. How about that?
Okay.
On Thursday, the very first band I saw was Necrogoblicon.
Okay.
They are a band who one of the singers dresses like a goblin, and that's their whole shtick. That's their whole shtick. They were really fun. It was really good. I would say the next highlight for me was Cattle Decapitation. I got to see them again. They only had a short set. Still a really, really good show. And then the highlight of Thursday was Behemoth.
Ah, yes.
I went with my friend Jerry. We were like maybe 3 or 4 people back from the rail for Behemoth. That was just an absolutely amazing experience.
Did you wear your battle jacket?
I did not. It was too fucking hot for that shit. Okay. No. Well, actually, on Thursday and Friday wasn't so bad. I was in jeans those days, but I didn't. I didn't want any extra weight. I would say Behemoth was my favorite performance of
the whole thing.
Yeah, not the best, but my favorite.
Explain the difference there.
The band that was my favorite, the band that was the best, they just killed it, just crushed it. But for me, being that close, Behemoth being like one of my favorite bands and being that close, I just enjoyed that so much more. It was just like, for me, it was like great.
And then what songs did they play, or were you happy with the set? Or
yeah, it was good. Yeah, it was a good set. It was absolutely a good set. Yeah, 100%. On Friday, I'm gonna my 3 Static X. Got to see them, and the dude wearing are you aware what Static X does now that Wayne Static is dead? Okay.
No.
They got a new singer. And
hold on, I need to open this up. So Static X.
Static X was a new metal band in the 90s, 2000. Had Wayne Static, the guy with like the black hair that stood straight up.
Yeah, I see him. He's got a mask on.
Yeah. So after Wayne Static died, Static X continued. They got a new singer, and that person literally wears a half Wayne Static, half robot costume. And that's how he goes.
That's what I'm looking at.
Yeah, so he's a tribute to Wayne Static. He doesn't try to be Wayne Static. He's like, yeah, like It's an absolute just tribute to that particular artist and singer.
Yeah, he's got like a robot mask. It looks like wires of standing up
Yes,
hair.
instead of hair, because Wayne Static had that hair.
Yeah,
but,
yeah.
But he would do it. He would grow his hair, and then he would take black spray paint to keep it standing up. That's how Wayne Static did it. But they were really good. I haven't got to see them with this particular singer, so that was good.
I didn't know Wayne Static died. When did Static?
A while ago. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I finally got to see Seven Dust.
Huh.
They are so good, Drew. So good. Like the good crowd presence. They get the crowd going. Lots of crowd surfers. Like it was just an excellent show.
Seven Dust. Okay.
Yeah. Seven Dust gets radio play, so you probably have heard some of their songs before. But the highlight, the best performance of the show was Lorna Shore on Friday night.
That's the one you were really raving about when you first said you were going to go.
Yes, yeah.
So it was good?
Will Ramos, the lead singer, for my money, is the best extreme vocalist out there, period. I do not know how that man makes the noises that comes out of his face. It is absolutely bonkers. But they had about an hour-long set. They crushed it. Just banger after banger. They had good they had a video playing behind them. It was really good. Like it was just absolutely.
They're coming to Mansfield, Ohio in July.
Yeah, to Incarceration. Yeah, I think. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Saturday was my day that I was short because I spent so long time in the car. Honestly, Saturday was probably the worst day. I'm just going to skip right. I'm just going to pull one artist for this. Marilyn Manson.
Huh.
So apparently, now granted, Marilyn Manson is still a piece of shit. Let's just all put that aside. Yep. He's a piece of shit. Okay? Abusive, not good, whatever you want to think. He's probably a piece of shit. I don't know him personally. Yeah, problematic. I don't know him personally, but he's probably a piece of shit. But he's gotten clean. And let me tell you, a clean Marilyn Manson knows how to put on a fucking show.
Okay, do tell.
At his heart, he is a performer.
Okay.
He knew exactly, like, he's got some new albums. He played like one song from his new stuff, and then it was just banger after banger, hit, single after single. The musicianship was really good. He had a really good stage presence. His voice sounded great. He did a really, really good job. I really enjoyed that show. Now, the downside of Saturday is during that time, I hurt my back.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Were you in a pit?
I was mosh pit adjacent a few times.
Okay.
I do not know how I hurt my back, but actually the only thing that made it really feel good on Saturday was Saturday at Marilyn Manson was a very active pit, lots of crowd surfers. And it turned out that motion of helping people off of the ground to crowd surf really helped my back. So when I left Saturday, I was cautiously optimistic. My back was feeling good. But Sunday came along and it was really, really hurting. So much that I actually left early. I did not stay for Tool, which I've heard that I did not miss much. Apparently Maynard wasn't feeling it and he didn't play like any hard songs. It was all melodic stuff. So apparently I did not miss much.
Okay.
But I did leave. But I will pull the three best bands that I saw. First thing I saw on Sunday was Castle Rat. Okay. Okay. So Castle Rat is not my style of metal. It is very like power metal, very melodic. But what Castle Rat is imagine your most dysfunctional D&D party becomes a metal band.
Okay.
Okay. They're all dressed up in fantasy characters. They have a little story that they tell while they perform. There's battles with swords. And it doesn't hurt that the lead singer is not hard to look at.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm looking at a picture. She's got a very skimpy chainmail thing on.
Yeah. So that was Castle Rat. It was a short set, but it was
people in
good.
Plague masks. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Actually, I'm going to pull 4 in for Sunday. I got to see Avatar again. Always good. Always a good show. They were on the main stage. In fact, Avatar was the only artist that I saw on the main. No, one of two on the main stage. the big stage inside the actual soccer stadium. I finally got to see Amon Amarth.
Okay.
They sing Viking. All their songs are about Vikings. I got to join the row pit, which is basically you sit on your ass and pretend like you're rowing. That was fun. And then the last big band that I saw Sunday was Lamb of God. I got to see them again, and they just they're always good, just consistently good. And yeah, that was. And then my back hurt, and then I went home. So,
How is your back feeling now?
it's not 100%, but it's much better. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And
Okay.
actually, what had happened was my back was kind of okay on Sunday, but then a pit opened up at Lamb of God, like right in front of me. Someone got pushed, and everything kind of came back, and I went like this with my hands, and all the weight hit my left hand, or like it was my left side of my back that was hurting, and that happened. I'm like, oh no. Oh no, this is bad. This is real bad. And then I sat and ate for a bit and tried to watch some other band, and I was like, I just can't do it. So I left.
Oh,
But
man, getting old
yeah,
sucks.
walking back to the car sucks. But yeah, it was a good time. Saw lots of great bands. Again, it was just way too fucking expensive. The weather held out. Only got rained on just a very little bit on Saturday. Not enough to really complain about. So it was a little
Okay.
warm, but I'll take warm over wet. So that's another good title.
Me noodle on that one. We can make that one into something, I think.
Yeah.
Okay. Good, man.
Yeah,
I mean,
it was fun.
when you reminded me, I was like, you know what? You did mention you were going to that. I mean,
Yeah.
I know that's your thing, so I'm glad you had a good time.
It was good.
Now,
It was, yeah.
before we get off this topic, though, what's your next concert?
Okay. This is fun.
Okay.
I only have tickets for 2 upcoming shows, and one of them may surprise you.
Okay.
I am going to see Fey Tooth at the end of August. They call themselves Fairy Doom, so it's more slower, more sludgy.
Okay.
And I just bought a pair of tickets. In fact, I bought them yesterday. No, Tuesday night. A pair of tickets for me and my daughter to go see the Smashing Pumpkins when they come in town.
Oh, where are they playing?
The Shot.
Oh,
It's
I
like,
want to go see the Smashing Pumpkins.
yeah, we'll buy a ticket. They're on sale now. Yeah. What they are doing is it's like the 30 or 35th anniversary of Melancholy and Infinite Sadness.
Yeah.
So what they're saying is the concert's 2 sets. The first is a tribute to Melancholy and Infinite Sadness, and then the second set is the rest of their discography. So
That's in September. Let me see. Let's see what tickets are going for.
yeah, the tickets I got. So I managed to get on in the Verizon pre-sale, so I actually got them like a day early. I think
Where are your seats?
I am in section 123, row L.
Okay,
And
so
the tickets,
you're to the right of you're to the stage left. Wow, those are expensive.
yeah, I think we ended up spent our tickets like with fees were about $200 a piece. But I mean,
For
I mean,
Selena's Cove experience.
yeah, you can get all kinds of like upgrades and shit. And my daughter's like, no, I just want to go see them. So, which the Smashing Pumpkins are her favorite band. And I enjoyed them very much when I was her age as well. So it's going to be a nice experience. Yeah.
You know, I wasn't super into music until like my late teenage years, but I was a Smashing Pumpkins fan.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, I'm not familiar with like their most recent stuff, so I might have to dive back in, but I pretty much dropped out after Adore, I believe, which is the album after Melancholy. But
I'll see if Mandy wants to go to that.
yeah, so yeah, my daughter and I are going to that, and that's in September, I believe. So,
Huh.
yeah.
Okay. Very cool, man. Well, I'm glad you had a good time, and I'm glad you didn't like die or like
Did not die.
didn't
Did
die.
not die.
All right. So, Paul, I'm too scared to develop a drug habit at my age.
Fair, fair.
So I'm always looking for new ways to occupy my time and keep my mind engaged.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm a man of many peculiar and expensive hobbies, as
Mm-hmm.
you know. Um, and I still do those things.
Yeah.
But I'm always looking for something new and exciting. So
Okay.
when I bought my 3D printer,
Mm-hmm.
one of my things was I really want to make something on this that is interesting and
Okay.
something that I can make that is durable and not necessarily resellable, but something that I could make and personalize and give as gifts.
Okay.
So, what I've been doing over like the past month is I have been trying to make molds.
Okay.
Now, I want you to imagine a cube.
Okay.
Okay, just imagine a cube. Like, okay, yeah, there you go. That's a cube. Yep, that's a cube. That's very cubish.
For those of you listening, it's a Rubik's Cube.
Yeah, so hold that up to the camera for a second, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, I could 3D print that,
Yeah.
right? I could 3D print a cube.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm beholden to, you can put the cube down. Um, I'm beholden to the materials that I print the cube on, and they're plastic.
Yes.
So, for example, if I wanted to make that a paperweight, I would want to make it out of something heavier.
Heavy. Yeah.
Okay. Metal, stone, something like that.
Okay.
So the idea is you print something on your 3D printer,
Okay.
and then you build a bigger cube. Okay.
Okay.
That you seal up with hot glue, painter's tape, clips, something. You set the smaller cube in the bigger cube, and then you mix yourself up some silicone rubber.
Okay.
Okay. So for those of you that don't know, like you can go to like any art supply store, you can go to Bespo's place, and you could buy what is essentially a 2-part silicone mix where you have a base and an accelerant. You mix them 1 for 1. You kind of stir it around a little bit, right? You try to get all the bubbles out of it.
Okay.
And that is
Bubbles. Are bubbles a problem, Drew?
Bubbles are a problem because you want to make sure that it's a uniform consistency. Okay. So what you're doing is you're pouring that in there, and it forms around the smaller cube. And after it finishes mixing, it turns into solid rubber that you can then like peel off of the other cube, and you are left with a form that you could then
cubes.
You could make cubes out of other things.
Okay.
Now that is the simplest example.
Okay.
Okay. Now, when you're working in 3D space, what do you do about negative space? What if you wanted a hole in that cube?
I don't know. How would you do that, Drew? That hurts my brain a little bit.
So what you need to do is you need to print out the shape that you ultimately want to have. And then you need to print out other pieces of a contraption that can like insert another piece inside of that and hold it there so that if you're pouring silicone rubber into it, it forms around the shape plus the cutout, leaving a space for you to then make something else out of, right? Suffice to say, what I have been making are candles.
Oh, wow.
Okay, so for those of you who can't see, what this is what I did is I printed this bowl shape in my 3D printer, okay? Right? I then built a form around it. So basically, it's like kind of like a cylinder inside of another cylinder where this sits at the bottom. And I actually have to put a screw through the bottom because you know what plastic loves to do in silicone?
Float. Okay.
So you have to put a screw through the bottom.
I'm learning things. Yeah.
Right. And then you have to put like on top of the cylinder, you need to print like a smaller insert that goes inside of here. So like when you're pouring in the silicone mold, you're basically pouring everything so that this shape is what you're pouring the next casting material into. Okay. So a lot of trial and error. And I can also do words.
Oh,
right? I can do words, right, that are indented into the mold.
Okay.
So that took like 2 weeks of making a big old mess because silicone is thicker than, like, your silicone mix is thicker than water, but any small crevice or crack in your form, life finds a way, as they say. that goop goes everywhere. Okay, now the good news is once it's dry, it's really easy to peel off of stuff, but it is sticky.
Okay.
So that took about 2 solid weeks worth of fucking around. Now I have a silicone mold. Okay. So the question is, what do I make this out of? Now this is a stone-like material. Now I have experimented with different materials.
Okay.
I originally, like, I was being served content where what people like to do is you find like a very, very coarse cement mix and you add some aggregate to it. You kind of dice it up and you can add pigments of like iron oxide to it and everything to basically make this out of concrete. I experimented with that, but I did not have a good time for 2 main reasons. One, I tried several different recipes to get the right consistency. I could not get a good smooth finish, and even the ones that I did, concrete evanescences. If you've ever been in a basement of a house with concrete block, like cinder block, you know how that white dust kind of forms on it?
Yeah.
That's what that is, right?
Okay.
Because like concrete takes a really long time to cure. Or cement takes a long time to cure, right? Concrete is a ingredient in cement, one or the other. Okay. But as it dries out, that stuff sort of like evaporates out of it. So like I would have to like make it and then like brush it off a bunch of times until it was like eventually like all fully
wait
cured.
For it to completely cure so it stops doing that. So yeah. Which
could
take
now you can get incredible detail with it with the right mix, but I was not successful in that. So what I found after doing some research was this. It is a compound called jesmonite. Yep. Crazy. So if you go to that website and you go to products, you're going to want to go to products and then AC100.
Okay. Big old tub.
Yep.
Water-based eco resin.
So it's technically a resin.
Okay.
But it doesn't feel plastically like resin. It feels like stone.
Okay.
So it's a 2-part mix. You buy the liquid and then you buy what's called the base. Okay. And it's not very expensive. Like you can get a kilogram of the base and 400 grams of the liquid by volume for about $15.
Oh, it's
not bad at all.
Yeah,
okay.
No.
Now you need a lot of it. So like to make one of these, I need about 50 grams of liquid, and the ratio is 2.5 to 1. So you need 40 grams of the base liquid, and then you need 80 100? And then 100 grams of your math is good. 100 grams.
I do a lot of coffee ratio, so that kind of math goes pretty quick.
So I'm speaking your language. So then you mix all that up, and you can add dyes to it. And like the dyes are where this stuff gets expensive, because you buy like a little jar of dye and it's like $30. But you only need like 1 or 2 drops to color. So like, for example, I made this one red for Databricks. Oh, wow.
That's really red too.
Very red.
Very red.
Very red. But like Databricks red. See, Databricks logo.
Yeah, I was going to say that's a Databricks logo on there.
Yeah.
You're allowed to use that.
I give and I give and I give. They can let me have this one.
Yeah.
So anyway, so like that's the stuff you can do, right?
Okay.
So then what I had to do is figure out like, okay, I want to try to perfect this, because like it took a couple like fucking around to like get it and everything. Then it became like, perfecting the ratio to get the right amount so you're not wasting material, finding out the right color dye mix and how many drops and, what color do you want this to be. But to take a quick deviation, like, again, removing bubbles is key, because what you don't want is you don't want to take it out of your mold and figure out that you had like a little air pocket right here. There's a big divot in it, right?
Oh, yeah. Okay, that makes
So
sense.
that's when I went and bought a vacuum chamber.
Okay. That's one way of doing it. Yeah. Yeah.
So
I
over
mean,
on
we do like our gear.
we do.
Oh. So how big is the
Um,
vacuum chamber?
I'm pulling it up right now.
Okay. Okay.
So what I bought, oh, come on, stupid Amazon. So I've only used this for the Jesmonite mix once, but I typically do this when I'm making a new mold. So this is the Bacco Eng 3-gallon tempered glass vacuum chamber.
It's not as expensive as I thought it was going to be.
I cheaped out on this because they can be a lot more.
Okay.
But this holds 3 gallons, and like you don't put the material directly in it. You put the material in something, then you set it in there.
Okay.
Then you hook up the pump that takes oil, and the hose, and you close the valves, and you turn it on, and you basically watch the material kind of rise up. So you kind of have to like off, on, off, on, off, on.
Okay.
Right, because you don't want it to overflow. Because what it's basically doing is it's like sucking all the air out of it, but also pulling it out of whatever you have it in.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Not gonna lie, it's a little scary.
Okay.
It's not a ton of pressure, but like when I initially hooked it up, I was like, I should probably go get some goggles.
Yeah. 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 Things under pressure can explode.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and like
Yeah.
that lid, by the way, does not clamp onto that tub. It just sits there.
So I guess it uses the vacuum itself to keep on.
Yes, that
Yeah.
yellow, or sorry, that orange ring around it is like a giant gasket that just kind of sits on top of that thing. So like if you ever ding that thing or like chip it, you're done.
You're fucked.
You're done.
Yeah.
You're never going to use it again.
Yeah.
So yeah, I ended up getting one of those to sort of do that work. Okay, so now
how do you pronounce this brand name? Bacco Eng?
Bacco Eng.
Bacco Eng.
Bacon egg. Bacon and eggs. I don't know. Like
Oh.
yeah. I just went there and I found one that had like a decent review
Yeah.
and wasn't going to cost me an arm and a leg, because I wasn't sure how much I was going to use it, and
How much noise does that pump make?
not a lot.
Okay.
Yeah, because here's the thing. I'm only really taking it up. Once I pour that resin, I'm sorry, once I pour the silicone mix, it does not take a lot of vacuum pressure to suck it out. It's just like you turn it on a little bit, you let some air bubble up, you turn it off, you let it go back down, turn it back on, and then like when it's not rising and falling anymore, you're done. Okay. So then you pull it out, and you have to pour it like really slowly to not introduce more air whenever you're pouring it into the mold. So it's a little bit of a skill issue, right? Like you kind of have to like figure it out. Okay. So now I've got this, right? I can sand this. I can paint this if I want to. You can add like matte or glossy finishing stuff to it. Like this has like a matte finish on it. So this is the natural color. Like if you don't do any coloring, it's kind of like an off-white, which kind of looks decent, right?
Looks nice. Yeah.
So then I was like,
red
okay,
looks really sharp though. I have to admit, like that looks real freaking sharp.
yeah. I made some gray ones today that I'm waiting to harden it up back there. And by the way, this Jesmonite stuff sets really fast. Like you only get like 20 minutes of working time with it, and then it starts to set up.
Oh, wow.
But the curing time is only like 3 hours.
Okay.
So like I can yank it out of that mold and start working on it. I did buy a respirator because I do not want resin in my lungs.
Good call. Yeah.
Especially if I'm sanding it, right?
Yeah.
So I have a little respirator in there too, so that was an expensive thing. So then it became time to make this a candle.
Okay. Yeah.
And
I assume candles are pretty much a solved problem here in year of our Lord 2026. Or am I wrong?
No, you're not wrong. But you just have to get the right material. So I'm happy to announce that I'm a soy boy.
Soy can. Okay.
Yep.
Soy
Freedom
wax
soy
beads.
wax.
Yeah.
Yep. And I just needed to buy something to melt it in. So what I ended up getting is the Venpal candle wax melter. I love these names. Ven Pal candle wax melter with pour spout, candle making kit for adult beginners, 1.5 liter large capacity, comma, for making candles and soaps, comma, kit includes wax melting pot and stirring spoon. It's
A lot of comma
basically,
splices in there. That
yeah,
title, yeah, yeah.
it's really just a very, very cheap crock pot with a handle.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, so you throw your wax beads in that, you turn it on, you melt it. I bought some wicks. You're supposed to soak the wicks in the wax for a certain amount of time. And then I'm not making scented candles. I'm never going to make a scented candle. Scented candles are stupid.
Okay.
Just live in your house with its natural smell, you fucking jerk.
The amount of scented candles in this house, Drew, would probably infuriate you.
Yeah, probably.
So many. Many.
So what I like about this is it dries just white. Right.
Yeah.
So it's just a nice white contrast. Like that's all I wanted.
Yeah.
Yep. So you basically I scoop out some beads, throw it in the wax melter, let it melt, pour it in there. And then like the wicks that I'm using are like these little wood wicks.
Yeah.
And what you can't see, because this is opaque, is there's like a little metal clamp in there that it sits in. So like after you pour the wax, but before it sets up, you just kind of set that in there. And because it's metal, it sinks. And then it just kind of forms up around it.
Cool.
So that's what I've been up to. While you're enjoying concerts, I'm over here inhaling resin and making candles. Making candles.
I never would have guessed candle making to be your new hobby, Drew.
I mean, look, man, work is tough and I need something to help me just unplug for a little bit. And now that I have the process down, I can go back to my workbench. I can put on my PPE. I can mix up some stuff, pour it into my molds that I have made. I've got like 4 different molds that I've made out of silicone, and I can make some of these, let them set up, come down the next morning, take them out, sand them down, put a clear, put the finishing thing on it if I want it, and then melt some wax and let them set up for a little while.
That's awesome.
And these are cool gifts. So like if somebody wanted one with like their logo, for example, I could be like, yeah, I could do that.
That's cool.
It would probably take me a couple days to get the mold, but once I have the mold, I can start cranking out candles.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so that's what I've been up to, buddy.
Wow.
Yeah. All right, that's a show.
That is a show.
Yeah. Welcome back. I'm so glad we're back.
Yeah. Wow. You know what I'm going to say. Doingtheirbest.com. You can find all the show notes, the video version of the podcast. And hey, thanks for listening.